wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for tuning in to Lock and Talk Podcast, where you guys can hear about NFL stars of tomorrow today. I'm your host, Barry Barnes, founder and CEO of locker-report.com. And you guys go to the site, check the site out, see the great content that you guys will not see anywhere else in regards to the NFL. I promise you, you will not see nowhere else. Follow me on all my social handles on Twitter at locker_reports, on Instagram, LockReport100, all small caps, on Facebook, LockReport.com, and also check out the Lock and Talk podcast on Facebook as well. And okay, I know normally I be get on y'all guys for subscribing to the station, so we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna dance. I want y'all guys to be happy. I want y'all to enjoy yourself like Colton doing. Get it, Colton. Get it, Colton. Get it, Mike. Get it, Mike. I see you. I want y'all guys to be excited and go to YouTube and make sure you guys subscribe to Lock and Talk podcast, where you can see all the good content on the NFL that you will not see anywhere else. I guarantee it. Folks, thanks a lot for tuning in. Tell you what, week 11 of the NFL was fantastic. Some upsets, but the best part from the players from the NFL Regional Combine, they had a standout workout. They got down during week 11 of the NFL. We're going to get right into it, and we're going to jump right off to talk about what happened in Baltimore. Now, in Baltimore, we know that Lamar Jackson was out due to illness, and we definitely missed seeing one of our best stars in the NFL not on the field. However, a little bias here. Nothing wrong being a little biased. I'm all about the NFL Regional Combine platform. We had Tyler Huntley, his backup. Now, Tyler did not have a physical workout in 2020 for the NFL Regional Combine due to the pandemic, but his name was on the list, so he's considered a lister from the NFL Regional Combine on the platform. So this is why this young man is still being covered. Now, Lamar Jackson was not able to play, so Huntley stepped in. First NFL start on the road. So with a little nervousness, and we understand and we see still, he was still able to do what he's doing on the field, throwing the ball very well, going through his progressions, taking his time, taking what the defense is giving. The Chicago Bears defense is a solid defense, not one of the best, but still one of the most respectable defenses in the league. And we see how Tyler is calculated, throwing the ball down the field, and you see here, even with the wheels that he has, the mobility that he has, Baltimore Ravens did not miss out too much from Lamar Jackson. Baltimore Ravens is given a perfect example of why it's important to have a backup quarterback that can equal sort of the same skill set as the starter, because the starter go down, the backup can come in and do pretty much some of the same things that the starter has. So the Baltimore Ravens had a strong blueprint about that. But knowing this game was tight, a defensive-minded game, not a lot of points scored on the board. We know that Justin Tucker was the one that was putting the points on the board. But when the Ravens needed a touchdown, Tyler Huntley stepped up to the charge, and he did his thing. And we're going to take you guys straight to the fourth quarter, right after the Chicago Bears had scored that 49-yard touchdown by Marquise Goodwin and leaving a minute and 48 seconds left on the clock. Down by 4, Huntley and the Ravens started from the 28-yard line. Yes, Huntley was very calm, very poised, but due some breakdowns to the defense for the Bears, he was able to also even getting a pass interference from the Chicago Bears. That's when we saw Tyler Huntley sit down and made the play of the day. With 33 seconds left on the clock, the Ravens was facing 3rd and 12 from the Bears' 32-yard line. Huntley received the ball from shotgun formation, felt the pressure from his left, scrambled to his right, and that's when you saw him throw the ball deep down the right sideline to Sammy Watkins as he was drifting towards the sideline, and he got caught on the 3-yard line, catching a 29-yard pass. And you see here, there you go, Huntley feeling the pressure and then taking a big hit right here, but still popped back up, still did his thing, and the next play, that's when we saw Dante Freeman run the ball in to give the Ravens their eventual touchdown to win the game. Now, Tyler Huntley did a great job in this matchup, showing the poise that the Ravens needed, knowing that the AFC conference is really thick right now. They need to make sure that they win every game. Every game counts. So this was a major game to keep the Ravens in pace and making sure that they would win that division, but also getting close or trying to fight for the number 1 seed in the AFC. Now, Tyler Huntley, he is one of the 3 regional combine players that's in the NFL right now on NFL rosters. Him, Bryce Perkins, quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams, and also Nick Mullins with the Cleveland Browns. Now, Nick Mullins, with this streak, with Huntley starting in week 11, he kept the streak for NFL Regional Combine quarterbacks to continue to take it down during the season. Nick Mullins started in 2018 with Huntley starting in week 11. It kept that streak going for our proud players that came from the platform. Tyler Huntley, good work out there. We know we're looking for Lamar Jackson to come back in week 12. But either way, if he does not know that he was still ill, did not practice early in the year, hey, it's not a problem. Tyler Huntley is going to be right there. Tyler Huntley will be at home. It will be in front of the bright lights. He got that first start under his belt. I'm telling you, with that big win they had in Chicago, it's going to do so much for his confidence. And if he had to step in Sunday night, I'm quite sure he's going to do well against the Cleveland Browns. Now, moving on, here we go. Kumar Cruchet-Hill, linebacker for the Houston Texans. Man, he flat out balled out in this matchup against the good old Tennessee Titans. Now, the Tennessee Titans, pretty much the hottest team in the AFC coming in, but it did not stop Kumar Cruchet-Hill to do what he was doing out there on the field. I mean, this man was everywhere on the field. Wherever the ball went, that's where he was at, making stops after stops. He actually led the team in tackles in this matchup with 12, leading the team. But the biggest part in his game, the biggest play that happened for him in this game was this interception that he had made. With 1 second left in the first quarter, the Titans was facing 3rd and 6. Ryan Tannehill received the ball from shotgun formation, targeted receiver in the middle of the field, and then here go Cruchet, boom, jumping the route. Now, Cruchet, I mean, he was running. I mean, he took off running really fast, trying to get down to the end of the field, and then you see around here around the 40, that's when he started running out of gas. But yet, he still had one of his blockers right there trying to hold it up for him to get him in, but all of a sudden, you saw Darnell Hilliard, running back for the Tennessee Titans, stopping him from getting into the end zone. Kumar Cruchet-Hill with his 82-yard interception that he took almost to the house. Was hoping he got to the house to get into that end zone, but getting stopped by Hilliard towards the end prevented that touchdown. But he still set the team up to be in scoring position where they walked away with 3 points. But the domination from the Texans in that game was huge, and Kumar Cruchet-Hill was the leader of that pack for the Houston team. Houston coming back, with Tyrod Taylor coming back, knowing the defense had a good game against one of the better teams in the league, is only going to boost the confidence for that team further down for the rest of the season. Kumar Cruchet-Hill, fantastic outing, young man. Keep up the good work. Leaders like you from the platform is why the NFL Regional Combine is so strong today. Now, moving on, Adam Thielen, who is pretty much the face of the NFL Regional Combine platform. I'm not afraid to say it. He really is. But he is putting himself a good Pro Bowl season together. Now, what Adam Thielen needed, as we talked about our review for Week 11, he needed the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers is one of those teams that he normally do very well against, and he needed that game. The Vikings needed this game for the win, and they was able to go over against that nemesis in the Green Bay Packers and pulled off a good solid win. Adam Thielen doing his thing out there on the field, being the leader that he is, showing his skill set as why he's one of the better wide receivers in the game. And most importantly, being able to put points on the board for his team. With 7 minutes and 43 seconds left in the first half, quarterback Kirk Cousins received the ball from shotgun formation from the Packers' 10-yard line. He quickly looked to his left and hooked up with Thielen for the pass. Thielen, what he did was he faked to the outside, got around to the inside of the defender, and that's when he beat him to the inside for the score, and that's when you see him doing his little dance here. Yeah, he's not doing it gritty, but he's doing his own slide back move here. That works very well for him. Great celebration for him, but for this guy to be able to still to do it year in and year out for the Vikings is fantastic. But it was a tight game that was going back and forth, and late in the game, they needed this leader in Adam Thielen to come together for him once again, as he had caught a big time pass towards late in the fourth quarter with 1 minute and 33 seconds when Thielen had caught a clutch pass for 26 yards that actually put them and set them up to be able to eventually walk away with a game-winning field goal with Greg Joseph came and sealed the game. So that big pass that he had that put them in field goal positioning, that's what a leader does. That's what Adam Thielen did for his Minnesota Vikings in Week 11, and we're looking forward to seeing what he's going to do in Week 12. Also, to wrap everything up for Week 11, we definitely want to take a shout out to Cole Holcomb, Washington football team linebacker, as he led his Washington team in a big win over the Carolina Panthers with 10 tackles. Cleveland Browns wide receiver Jamarcus Bradley, he had 2 receptions for 46 6 yards in this matchup, and also including this big game that he had here in this matchup, showing that this young man coming off the practice squad late in the season, he could be a surprise. You never know. Let's get in front of the 8 ball with Mr. Bradley. He could be something very special in Cleveland, so definitely watch out for him. Then we're going to look at Kenny Moore II. Kenny Moore II, he's that dude for the Indianapolis Colts. He walked away in that big game that he had against the Buffalo Bills with 3 stops, but he also got his 3rd interception of the season as the ball's in flight. You saw, I like the way how he did a little tip drill to himself, tipping the ball to make sure he secured it, grabbed it, running to the sideline, running through the sideline, made a jump right here. Good stuff from Kenny Moore every week, week in and week out. We're going to talk a little bit more about him when we get into week 12 of the NFL. And then Benson Imaway, defensive end for the Seattle Seahawks, he walked away in that matchup with 3 tackles in that performance. Now, that was week 11. Now, we about to walk and start talking about week 12 of the NFL. Yes. Yeah. Really, we are.
You crazy.
No, I'm not crazy. Week 12 is here, folks. We ready to get right into what to expect from the NFL Regional Combine players for week 12 of the NFL. Now, we talked about Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore is about to go up against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Now, Kenny Moore, one of the better defensive backs in the league. He's actually 3rd on the team in tackles and 2nd on the team with solo tackles. Lead the team in interceptions. They're going to need his savviness going against the great one, Tom Brady, in this matchup. They get to host the Super Bowl champs, the reigning Super Bowl champs. Let's see what Kenny Moore, watch out for what number 23 can possibly do against this Tampa Bay offense. Kumar Hill, still looking for him to further his dominance going into week 12 when they go up against the New York Jets. Definitely watch out for what Kumar Hill and what the Houston Texans going to do in this matchup. Now, Monday night, Washington football team go up against the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Cole Holcomb is he is the big guy for Washington right now on the defense side of the ball. He currently has 88 tackles on the season, which is good enough to lead his team in tackles. So he is leading his team. He's on pace and eclipsing the most tackles he had when he was a rookie, introduced into the NFL when he had 105. He's on pace and blowing that out long before we get to week 16. Let's see what he's going to do against the Seattle team. Now, I'm not saying that the Washington football team is going to make the playoffs, but they're going to make things really, really interesting as this young man continue to play ball and matching what the young quarterback and Taylor Heinicke is doing on the offense side of the ball. He's the quarterback for the defense. Let's see what Cole Holcomb will continue to do for this Washington football team. And then Sunday night, we just talked about Jamarcus Bradley, wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns. Now, just getting in front of the 8 ball. Just got activated to the active roster a few weeks ago, showing a lot of promises. One of the things that he's really showing is that he can catch that deep ball. He is good in space, protects the ball very well. Do not be surprised if you see number 84 for the Cleveland Browns do some good stuff against the Baltimore Ravens. That big Sunday night game. I'm looking forward to it. That's why we're talking about it. I want you guys to look forward to it because, hey, football is great. All you guys enjoying it? I'm definitely enjoying it. You see him outside with this nice sunny day. I couldn't be inside the studio to do it today. Had to get outside and talk some football with you guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in to Lock It Talk, where you guys can find out about NFL stars of tomorrow today. Thank you for joining in. My name is Barry Barnes, founder and CEO of Locker-Port.com. And go to the site, check the site out where you see some great NFL content that you will not see anywhere. Follow me on all my social handles on Twitter at Locker_Report. On Instagram, LockReport100, all small caps. On Facebook, LockReport.com. And also make sure you guys check me out on the Lock It Talk on Facebook. And you guys know, yeah, you see me laughing. And you see me smiling. I'm taking a different approach. I want you guys to enjoy it. Go ahead, get that dance on. Go ahead, Mike. Oh, that's not Mike. That's that's Tommy Davidson. But you get the idea. Make sure you guys go to YouTube, subscribe to the Lock It Talk podcast, where you guys can find out this great stuff about the NFL that you will not hear anywhere. Everyone stay blessed. Make sure you guys tune in when we talk about next week what happened in week 12. And then we'll get right into week 13 in regards to the players that came from the NFL Regional Combine. Everyone stay blessed. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Stuff yourself. Let's get it.